Hello, all. I hope you've had a good day. I just got home. Holy moly, what a day. What a day. Whew, work-wise, all different angles. Choo, 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 choo. and I just got done watching Candace's episode, and I found it to be really refreshing. I'm glad that they had a good meeting, and I'm glad they're at a neutral position. And it's refreshing that they came, with receipts, and I was like, here, they had disagreements, but they were just, transparent in some areas, and it's just refreshing. There's so much negativity and toxicity on these platforms, and they can really take you down negative headspaces. I mean, golly, I could feel that sometimes too. There's just so many narrations. There's so many just different angles, and there's so many, I don't know. There's so much exhaustion, really, in it all. And it's so hard to wrap your head around it, really. For me, it is. Like, I had a conversation with my coworker today, and I had this thought come to me this afternoon. It was like, golly, I can really recognize in different ways why Jesus was so at peace with being crucified on the cross like he was. Because when you're an empathetic person and you carry so much weight of people's hate and projections and deflections and misunderstandings and whatever the case may be, but you decide not to meet them with that. You decide to meet them with forgiveness and love and empathy and grace. Not a lot of people operate in that, and I get that. And I don't expect people to operate the way that I do. But I understand it, because it is extremely difficult to live in a world filled with so much deception and corruption and hate and manipulation and projection and lies and narrations that I understand. Like, I mean, at times I feel like I'm being crucified so much. And it's like, I don't even understand why. I really don't. I have so many questions in reference to my story and everything that's transpired around me. I don't understand it. And there's just so many innuendos, so many sayings, and it's just like, in reference to my storyline and my proof. When it comes to my proof, like, I'll tell you, in reference to my proof, a good majority of my proof has been taken away or deleted off my devices. Everything that I'm going to put out there is in reference to everything from this past year that I've gathered in reference to emails, filings, complaints, text messages, exchanges between coworkers, previous coworkers that don't make sense, phone calls, things that don't make sense with jobs that I've applied for. It's nothing in regards to text messages with my previous companies. So all that was wiped. My emails have been wiped. I have different things in reference to my medical records with the one person that's given me mine, confirming in reference to emails that I received, but I can't get them. They're just like disappeared. And so I wanted to touch on that. And then another thing, because it's not like I'm trying to keep anything, because it's literally not. I don't have what it is the world is looking for. I just don't. And I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend that I do, And another thing I wanted to touch on is, in reference to the way that I deliver my messages and stuff like that. Like, Charlie was murdered. His life was taken from us in front of all of us. That comes with a different type of heat in reference to calling people out by name, down the rabbit hole of that, because it's different. It's different. Thankfully, by the grace of God, I'm still here and alive, breathing. How I do it every day, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. That would be a good question for God. I'd be talking to God about that all day. With all the stuff that does come to me, all the stuff I do see, all the things that I do know. So by the grace of God, I'm still alive and breathing. They haven't been able to take me out in different ways, but Charlie was. And so it's a little bit different of a way of delivering. I'm not going to sit here and call people out by name and stuff like that. It's just not in my nature. You know, the people that I've called out their names, they are very present in all the craziness that they have done. All right. But in reference to everybody else in my past, you know, that's something that's all entangled in my court case, you know, and that's just that, you know, and you can understand it. You cannot understand it. You can appreciate it. You cannot appreciate it. You can believe it or not believe it. You know, that's completely up to you and your perspective. And I appreciate you for that. But I move and operate in how I can, to keep my peace, in a world that so badly does not want you to walk in peace. And if you choose to walk in true freedom and you cannot be controlled and you cannot be conformed, then you are a threat, you know, and it sucks. It shouldn't be that way. I don't know why freedom is threatening in a world that we're supposed to be free in. I don't know why, if you can't be conformed, then you are attacked in different ways, whether that be physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. I don't know. These are questions I'm asking. I don't know the answer. And believe me, I'm right there with a lot of people. There's a lot of things I don't have the answer for. But I appreciate Candace for her tenacity and her fortitude and her ability to articulate things in such a beautiful manner. And I love that she said her cousin was there that likes to listen to Cardi B. I can appreciate that, you know, and that's another thing. It's like with me, I got me. That's it. I got me. And I got God, of course, and I've got, you know, people in my physical realm. But when it comes to my fight, you know, that everybody knows that surrounds me, it's just me. I don't have a team. Everybody in my life knows that there's something going on, but it's just not an open-ended conversation that is had on the regular basis. And I'm so ready to have them, but it's hard when everybody is kind of playing their part, you know, that they're allowed to play, And I get it. I lived that world too for a long time. And so it sucks. I hate that it's just come this far. I really do. It's just, I don't understand it, guys. I really, really don't. You know, my girlfriend said, why is this happening? I don't know. I don't know. I try to wrap my head around that all the time. And I try to dig deep. And the only thing I can say is just be careful who you surround yourself around. You know, be careful who you choose to marry. Be careful who you decide to work for. Be careful, because you just don't know what people's addictions are. You know what I mean? You don't know if they're addicted to corruption, deception, and money. You don't know. You don't know if they're addicted to life insurance schemes. I mean, you just don't know. We don't know these things. These are questions we don't have the answer for, right? And so, seeing as we don't know these answers, my advice to everyone is to be very, very careful. Be mindful, you know, be at peace with yourself and aware of your surroundings. Don't be so gullible. Don't be so kind at times. Don't be a doormat. Don't be overly giving. And don't allow people to manipulate you in the mind to think that you're less than what you are so they can take advantage of you. And make you feel less. At the same time, make you feel lucky, like you should be lucky that you're surrounded by these people. It's like crazy to me. It really is. And so I hope this video resonated, but I am, you know, I enjoyed today's episode by Candace, and I'm extremely inspired by her. I truly am. You know, there's things that I stand with her on, and there's things that I, you know, not so much, but at the same time, I appreciate her and her character and her faith and her want for truth and her want for justice. I want the same thing. And so I feel like we all should strive for that. I don't know why we don't. I love you guys. Sweet